What's going on, everybody? Bobby Fye and Eric Sheets. We're talking through this Monday night NBA slate. As a reminder to everybody, every team is playing tonight. There will be no games tomorrow. That's going to happen for all elections until eternity. So we have the 15 gamer on FanDuel, which I am just staying completely away from, but I'm sure Sheets is involved. And then we've got a wild one even on DraftKings with the Giannis news coming in just before. So interesting to see which starting lineups come out. Interesting to see what other news comes in. But Sheets, what do you think overall here, man? Like we were talking about,
and then we get to talk about whether we rather play Raheem Jarrett or Ryan Miller in football.
In football. Oh my God, I was like thinking about you about FanDuel. I was like, who are those people?
2K Raheem Jarrett, 1K Ryan Miller. Let's go.
That's gonna be a weird one. That's for sure. So I was rerunning some stuff, and with the Giannis news finally officially. Took a minute for them to update it, but it seems pretty reasonable where it's at now. Okay. What I would say is I don't think it's 100% guaranteed that Bobby Portis does in fact start.
Okay.
But I think it's most likely. But just keep an eye on it in case somebody else starts and they do something different. They want to bring him off the bench. But yeah, looking at it right now, it looks very simple. Like in some ways simple. I think you're looking at 2 or 3 from Boston and probably 2 or 3 from Milwaukee as sort of a baseline, right?
What about the Chicagos and the Utahs and all that?
And I like them as well. That's sort of how I filled in a lot of my stuff was with taking one of the mid spends there, and it looks like that's what I'm getting to. But I really have a hard time fading Jason Tatum tonight. I think that Bobby Portis is an interesting. I could see the argument for it, the ownership he's going to be, but I really just think you're supposed to just do it. I was trying to talk myself into more of a fade than I've got right now. But yeah, I think I just think it's hard to get away from those things. I mean, this Atlanta-Boston game is like the dream game, for Boston. They shoot the most threes against the team that gives it the most threes in NBA history. So I think that you do want at least 2 from Boston, and maybe and 3 or I'd say 3 or 4 if you wanted to even build a stack. And I think in Milwaukee you want to play at least Portis. I actually think my second highest owned player from that was going to be DeLon Wright. He's not projecting as well as I thought he would, but I really like him.
So I'm sharing my screen right now, and one of the things Bobby and I did today was I had a conference call with Jordan from SaberSim where we were going over some stuff and just making sure the techniques in my process were sound, and they were better than I thought. But one thing that I do, and I'll just show you guys. I updated my projections, but I uploaded them, of course, like 5 minutes before I found out that Giannis was out. So right now you don't have, I don't really have all of the look at all these guys that are out. Giannis, LeVert, you know that? I don't know that.
I don't think that was never in question. Yeah.
Oh, Herter and Wade, like these are all guys that whatever. So. Yeah, I am going to rerun stuff, but for now, what you can do is just these are my custom projections. And then I'll just go to the games that I know that were changed. I will just manually revert what I had to the new SaberSim ownership, projections, and it's not perfect, right? But at least it's better than nothing. And then if I have time, I can just rerun everything a little bit closer to lock. But this at least will give me an idea of what I'm supposed to do. And who else is ruled out? Herter, what team is he on?
Sacramento. It's not a very big piece of it. These were all expected.
And I did not have him projected. Okay, so that's
the only one that I thought was actually questionable was Dean Wade for Cleveland.
For Cleveland?
But it's not really like a big piece of
Well, let's just see if I had him. No, I didn't even have him.
Who's going to end up starting for them. I guess it would bring in like Ty Jerome, Sam Merrill, Niang, maybe a Coro. I think those guys don't look okay.
No, but I just mean as a matter of course, I could do it this way and not just completely be clueless. So I'm going to run this like what I have now. And as I run it, I'll just kind of throw one idea out here, just kind of like, 2009, and 20, like old school way to play, right? We could just go ahead and play Donovan Mitchell and Damian Lillard together and just hope that we get one of those. And it could certainly be one of those. Lillard certainly is live to put up one of those without Giannis in there. And if Lillard starts to put up one of those, enough where Cleveland's, going to be threatened here, I think that Mitchell could put up one of those also. So I think that's not a bad idea. I also we'll go right back to my analysis of just Jordan Poole being kind of a good upside play.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get back to the value in Washington. Let's see if that kind of holds up after all that. I like Cade Cunningham again as kind of like a solid mid-range play as well. And then, like you said, I'm like all over those Boston guys. Memphis, Brooklyn, probably not much. Sacramento, Miami, probably not much. Utah, Chicago, we're still waiting on Zach LaVine, I think. We got to respect that. And the Knicks, Houston, again, if you have the patience to wait for it, like you said, there's no reason why you're like Sengun at 1% ownership can't get 70. You know what I mean? Like Cat's the worst. As far as defense against guys like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot out there but I think it's going to still be filling in the cracks around those things. I think people are going to do the Donovan Mitchell thing. I think you're also going to see Mobley pretty popular. I just think it's going to change the way people view things, and they'll naturally build like in game stacks. I think Garland will have a little ownership, but I think that's certainly, like what you said, is certainly a logical route to go. What I like the most is getting to Tatum with one of the other values from Boston, potentially also adding Derek White in there and playing all three of them, and then potentially playing at least Portis and either DeLon Wright or Lillard. And I think that's sort of where you start from, and then you fill in the pieces with the other spots. I think that's what the Sims are going to do too.
Yeah, my current runs, without simming is getting 100 of Portis.
They're going to get right near there. And then also, if you did there's going to be another one that stands out for Okoro is probably going to look okay, and we know what that story is. But 20 fantasy points at 3,400 is certainly fine. And
I'm getting right now 92% Gary Trent Jr. I mean,
I feel like his projection feels a little ambitious because we've seen it with him a million times where he does have like a range of outcomes. He's not this he's going to be shooting reliant. He doesn't really create. Occasionally he has those games that you really like, but I'm surprised because actually SaberSim has like no love for Gary Trent Jr. for some reason. What I'm looking at least, they've got him at a 4.4 point per dollar projection right now. That's like lower than it was before.
I got him at 27 fantasy points, 27 and a half.
I wonder why SaberSim just took it back on him. I'm trying to rerun it.
Well, what are you getting for? I see 27 and a half from SaberSim.
Here, I'll show my screen. It's 21.
Okay, I don't know what to say. I just have 27 here.
That's so weird. I wonder if there is like a little delay going to our site from there. Let me just double check.
Maybe
it could be, but it doesn't matter for most sports that much. But for basketball, obviously, it really matters because you need those. I think, and by the way, it could be a Okoro, but the other play that Bongo Fiesta saying here in chat is that Sam Merrill is a reasonable guy to take a shot on.
Oh, I remember him from last year. Yeah. So I see that. It's interesting that I'm actually not even getting more Portis than what they're giving me right now. And I don't until we see who's starting for sure for Boston, but I don't feel like that you have to do the both Hauser and Cornette, which it looked like was going to be the way to build earlier in the day. I just don't think that's that right way anymore. I don't think you have to go that route. But I do think it's a reasonable route to go. It's just not. Again, I think you really want to try to get two or three of the Bostons, and then 2 or 3 of Milwaukee, and then you have Zach LaVine and I don't know Keontae George or Zach LaVine and Şengün, and depending on which 3 you pick, of course. Guys, anybody who has questions about the whether somebody's playing or whether they're in or out, if it's like a day-long thing, the best way to do it is to look at the NBA Twitter or just look at your DraftKings screen and click on the player's name. But Giddey, from what I have thought, is that he's going to play. Levine's questionable too, but I can't say for sure. And unfortunately, that game is at the end of the slate. So, but I mean, again, I don't even know that that's even like, obviously Zach LaVine's more relevant, but we're expecting him to play as of right now. He does have an adductor thing, so sometimes those act up. But yeah, it's really hard to just. It would be bad for me to speculate on whether a guy is going to play or something, because Giddey's probable and LaVine is actually questionable. So if there's one to worry about, it would be more LaVine than Giddey.
All right. So what else? Let's just see if we get this updated yet. Shoot, what a bummer this would be.
Oh, it's so funny. Now we got Gary Trent back to 21.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, we don't even have official starters yet.
Exactly, but he'll start. Yeah, that would be really weird if he didn't start when he starts all the time. So maybe if you want another creator, they could start DeLon Wright or something instead, I guess. Not.
So I'm going to be getting like a whole bunch of Milwaukee. So I'm going to probably have to like min unique out of it, some of it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to have all these guys.
But you're also going to end up getting some Cavs now with Okoro starting at 3,400.
That's okay.
Yeah. I'm just saying it's going to naturally build itself into like a little game stack, I think, for a lot of people.
Let me do FanDuel here. I may as well. And I'll do the same thing over here. Let's new build. Gary Trent doesn't have any upside. Yeah, I don't disagree with you, by the way.
I have that feeling. He definitely has upside. He just has to get hot. But that's completely not true to say that he's not. I don't agree that he doesn't have upside. I think that he does have plenty of times where he puts up 15 fantasy points here. But I also think there's times where he gets 45. But I think that's way less likely. Yeah, I'll go out of my way to play less of him than I will the other guys. And that doesn't mean I'll have none of them, but I'm more on the Portis. Lillard.
Who's that small forward I was touting earlier? The one that said was really active. It was going to be 3,800 or whatever. Who's that guy? Oh, the Washington guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Keontae, whatever his name was.
Yeah, Kajan George. Yeah, I think he's actually going to start looking less. He's certainly going to be less popular than he was going to be. That's what I'm seeing.
MMA was not the best Eagles. Sorry about that. But the weekend was interesting. For those that didn't watch earlier, I had a big hit on the showdown slate on Thursday, and then I took it. I just want to get into it again, but I took a nasty one in the Wildcat showdown last night.
Oh man,
dropping from first to sixth or seventh in like 3 plays, which was didn't have to be that way, but that's the way it goes.
I'm feeling for you on this one. I don't even want to think about it. I know how I'd react. I don't know if you would see me. No, I'm just kidding.
Let's see what FanDuel looks like here. Yeah, there was one fight that I was probably going to fade anyway, but then when another fight got scratched, I even faded this fight more, and it was a very popular underdog that got there, and when that happened, I had to scramble to even break even for the night, and I didn't quite do that either. All right, so on FanDuel, let me see the difference. Wow, 10 million%. Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, there's no Jamal Murray. I mean, what's even the risk side here?
The risk is that he hasn't made a shot since the Eisenhower administration,
and he's still putting up 35 fantasy points. Somehow.
Yeah. So that's the risk.
And there's no Jamal Murray. No, I mean, if he plays minutes, the man is not going to produce. It doesn't matter whether he scores or not. The only thing is beware that everybody's assuming he's going to start. We're not sure that he's going to start.
If he doesn't start, he'll still play 36 minutes.
He played 31 in the last game. I mean, yeah, with missing every shot, these 2 for 11s, 1 for 9s, you're putting up 33 fantasy points, 27 fantasy points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You took Jamal Murray out of it. I mean, he's got to project at like 50 fantasy before 45.
44 I have. No, 44% ownership. I have a 34.91 projection.
Oh, that feels very low to me. I'll take the over on that one. It should be not 45 is probably too high. It probably should be around 40. We'll see. I mean, I don't know how I couldn't play him though over there. Bobby Portis' projection just like keeps going through the roof. I feel like
it sure does. We got we really do have plenty of time, and we got 45 full minutes. They'll announce starters and everything if we're lucky.
I know. Wouldn't that be something? Okoro's officially starting. I think that's a pretty interesting play with the Sam Merrill. I'm going to try and force in some of that. And I think it's also a reasonable to play Okoro, who now is, he's got a 6X projection at 3,400, I think that's certainly worth having some of.
Lillard, Westbrook. I like these. I like playing guys like this.
I like this Merrill idea, I think.
Yeah, we talked about him last year when it was chalk a lot. That was like a kind of a bad play at chalk.
Yeah, because he's just a shooter, really.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly. Nice job, Brandon. Nice job. All right, let's see what else we got here. So we could talk a little football.
Yeah, let's talk football before
we get back to it.
These things update a little bit.
Yeah, and we're gonna I think there's still a couple guys with a couple of the Q tags. And is there? No, maybe that's not. Maybe they're not anymore. Maybe I'm just so traumatized from how many there were in basketball. No, it looks like they actually have a pretty good idea of who's playing. Okay, so you're were you talking about Justin Ross before? Is that who you said?
No, I was not. I was talking about Raheem Jarrett and Ryan Miller, both from both from Tampa. They have big projections like 2.5 and 2.3.
I just don't think there's any reason to do stuff. Like, I guess the reason is like we don't know who their other receivers are,
right?
But it feels like there's really no difference. I opened it up to 10 to leaving up to 10,000 on the. I think there's plenty of ways this game could play out where it's like a 35,000 build that wins it. I don't think this game has to be a shootout. I don't think Tampa Bay has to stay close. I don't think the Chiefs have to be crisp. I don't think the Chiefs are going to be able to run the ball, which means they're going to be forced in the air. But
you have me intrigued. This Justin Ross thing.
Well, he's the cheapest play, but it's probably just ridiculous to even to do it, But you just don't need it. That's what I mean. Like, you really don't need the money unless there's a certain exact type of game that happens. And even then, I don't think that 200 makes a big enough difference off of someone like, I don't know. I don't love Carson Steele, so maybe it's not a great example, but McCole Hardman could score a touchdown. Very easily.
Yeah. McCole Hardman, he's like an obvious play.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's only got in the flex. He's only projected at like 4% ownership.
Well, one thing that was pointed out, by the way,
is
that as much of the work as Kareem Hunt gets, he gets nothing in the passing game.
Which is not like it's funny because that's it was like a skill set.
He's not even on the field.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean I guess that's true to some extent, but it's fair enough. This is a different type of matchup. I'm lower on Hunt than the field will be anyway. I don't think people act like he's having this great time. It's like he's averaging like 3 yards a carry. Like, this is not like he's going nuts or anything. He just happened to have gotten in the end zone a few times. But yeah, I mean it is weird with he hasn't had much at all in the passing game. He had one game where he had 5 catches, I think. But that was a little while ago. Not 100% sure on that one either. Last year the Cavs bench had a week or two going off. Yeah, but see, here's what you're missing, BBF. I know exactly what week you were talking about, and there was no Donovan Mitchell, no Darius Garland, or no Evan Mobley. At least 2 of those guys were gone for all of those games. So Dean Wade leaving doesn't mean, okay, well, Sam Merrill gets to go crazy no matter what. But because of it, he's also not going to be as popular. But really, don't try to compare it. This is such a different situation. Like it's I don't know. It's completely different to me.
Well, who do you like from who do you like from the Tampa side? Just the
So I'm underweight. I have a lot of 5-1 builds in my first thing.
Oh, for the Chiefs?
Yeah. And I think it's actually not going to be uncommon enough, probably. But I'm just looking at my ownership here at what I got in my first runs. And my highest owned Tampa Bay player in the flex is Trey Palmer at 35%, followed by Baker at 27.5%, Cade Otton at 25%, but that's because I've got Otton as captain a lot. Then I have McMillan. Then I have a little bit of White, a little bit of Bucky Irving. And then as captains go, my highest owned captain is Otton, but again, I'm not playing him as much in the flex. My next highest owned captain are Kelsey and Hopkins.
You think Hopkins has one in him?
Yeah,
I think so too.
And if there was a matchup, this is the one.
Yeah, I think he's got it in him.
Yeah, I feel it too. I like it. If it's not tonight, it's going to happen soon. But it could. The only thing is this is a game where you'd expect the Chiefs to sort of put their foot down. It's not great weather, by the way, for throwing the ball, even though it should be a good throwing game. But it doesn't usually matter that much for guys like Mahomes. All right, let's see.
I have this I have this feeling that we're supposed to play more Tampa people.
I think it's worthwhile to take a shot like that. I think that's totally reasonable. You could try the kicker.
I just think maybe some 5-1s with Tampa.
What about some of
You're also
I have two lineups with Harrison Butker, one of my least favorite human beings alive.
Yeah, we can't play him. Sorry.
I know, especially tonight of all nights. That's like I should X him out, but I have him as a captain. I'd win the other way with it.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. All right, look at Cavs, Garland, Mitchell.
People are in this tournament. Hold on, this.
I feel like in the NBA they should have to announce their lineups earlier. I think it's so stupid.
Wish I knew somebody that worked for the NBA.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to insult him.
8,000.
I have a couple. I have 2 Raheem Jarrett lineups.
There you go.
So I'm not off of it. I have Sterling Shepard, but I have him less than the field. I'm not as. I don't know. It's just hard for me with that one. Let's see, McLaughlin. Yeah, I think this is the game. I mean, I know it's going to be popular as a captain. I like the Kelsey captain a lot. And I just tried to go way under. I think it's just so. I know it's happened a couple times this year, but to me, it's just so hard to picture the quarterback even being the highest scoring player like that often, and it's always the highest owned. And yeah, it's more sure points, but it's also like like Geno Smith wasn't the highest scoring player for Seattle yesterday Daniel Jones was for them. That's a little different. When you have a non-running quarterback, I just have a harder time with the captains like that. Baker can run a little bit, but I don't want to play that either. So I have only one of my lineups has Kareem Hunt as a captain. I may as well just not have any.
I like the Worthy as the captain.
Yeah, me too. I forced in like 8%, which is pretty. He's going to be like 2%.
I currently have 45% Worthy and captain, so I got to do something about that.
Oh my God, man! Maybe that's the key to winning.
just take your shot. And
I'll tell you what. Because there's not going to be enough people to. You're probably going to have a decent amount of the combinations. I'm still keeping an eye out for the NBA. Anybody has any NBA thoughts or anything? Feel free to drop them in here. I'm just waiting for starting lineups. Really. Oh, so wait. Okay, so that's interesting. So no Clowney. Okay. Which I didn't like that play as it was anyway. Now I don't even have to worry about it. But I like that Claxton thought a little bit. I don't know what they're doing with Claxton, to be honest with you. There's a version of tonight where he could have a big game because of this, but I don't think anybody else is really going to see a significant boost. Maybe DFS, if anyone. I don't think so, though. If there's anything, it certainly hasn't updated yet. So as of right now, still going. While Sheets is doing his football thing, I'm going to go back to basketball for a second. Say my highest owned or the best projected is So did they? I don't have a Boston starting lineup, but Cornette's number for some reason jumped back up again, which I'm fine with eating some of the Cornette chalk. The Drew Holiday versus Peyton Pritchard is an interesting one because I think both of those guys are pretty relevant. I just think you want to have a Celtic or two.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So I'm going to redo my thing a little bit here, and I'm going to go double check exposures. ED breakout. I like these calls. I don't know that I'm on that page, Tyler, but he's 4,500. This is a good spot. I kind of like You know what? I'm with you, BBF. I think I can get onto the ED idea.
Edie?
Yeah. Not a huge amount, but you get a good amount of it.
Let's see, exposure here. Yeah, why not? Straight for the worthy.
God, Evan Mobley's projection has gone through the roof today. I like Mobley as a player a ton, and I think there's a good chance, but I don't know if I want to eat that one. The Bulls have started projecting better and better for some reason. Oh, I think it's because you can get to the easier.
Is Levine out or something?
I'm trying to double check. I don't have any word that he is, but it is interesting.
Build a FanDuel showdown build here too.
Let's see where Merrill ended up with the projections. They're okay with taking shots on him. So am I. All right. And we are going to. All right. I think the ED thing I think it is a good call. I think that's the kind of play I like. I like that idea. Even if it doesn't work tonight, I think it's a.
What team is he on?
Memphis. He doesn't even project all that bad, to be honest.
What does he project? Like 20 or something?
23.
What's his price? 44, you said?
45. Just a lot of centers.
Yeah.
Tatum is, I'm going to have a very hard time not being way overweight this. There's another one who I was thinking of as a creative play tonight that I like a little bit is a little Malik Beasley revenge against the Lakers. For the
oh my God, he's still in the he's still in the league?
Yeah.
Oh, I just got Michael Beasley.
Oh yeah, no, this is Malik.
Does Malik Beasley have revenge in him?
Yes, I think.
Does he have he has the skill set to implement it?
That I'm not sure how much of it's still there, but yeah, he sort of disappeared into a different guy. But I still think he's worth gambling on for sure tonight. There's also a lot of ways that game could play where he gets run. Like I could see it happening.
Okay, do we have starters? We have starters for Cleveland. Still nothing for Milwaukee. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, of course.
We're supposed to have it a half hour before. All right, they have a minute.
Let's see. I'm rewriting my builds entirely. While I do, I'm going to jump back to my other build. Portis, Lillard, Ivy, Wright. I like the DeLon Wright a lot. Wright, Levine.
Yeah, so this I have Mahomes like captain like the bigger buy-ins, but I have Worthy captain in the lotteries. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, I like it.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
Is Godwin out for the season, by the way? Do you know that?
I don't know I actually don't know if I didn't hear the official thing after it happened.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't think they announced him out for the season, at least not when I had looked, but I hadn't been as up on it.
You heard McBride might get more run with Payne out. Okay. I'm down with that. I'm down with that assessment. I don't know if you need it tonight, but.
Yeah. Another one I'm not sure if you need, but I don't mind the idea of taking a shot. The problem, look, the good thing about the Knicks is they play you plenty of minutes. The bad thing about the Knicks is they play the slowest pace in the NBA.
Well, I'll tell you, I have a little advice for you, Butt Bongo, on this. If you're playing like the big team,
sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
who'd you say?
Oh, he is out for the season. Yeah, sorry. So he's
Oh.
sorry.
What I was going to say is that, but Bong was saying, I wish John Collins was about a 1K cheaper. I just can't pay 6,600 for him. Depending on what tournament you're playing, I guess to some degree what sport you're playing, but I think it's basketball too. I wouldn't worry about that. You know, if you, it seems kind of silly, right? Because it is a salary sport, whatever. But if you're playing for upside or whatever, if the 1K, like the extra 4 or 5 points is going to, or whatever, 6 points going to make a difference. You know what I mean? I don't know. If you really like him, I would just pay it. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I like it, but I'm just saying that I wouldn't sweat the 1K. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I think with that kind of a play, it's fair enough. I think it really depends on the type of play for me, but yeah. I understand that. Tyler Hero. Shingun. Capping Mobley at 5.
All right, so I'm gonna try to run these. Let's see what Milwaukee does to us as far as starters go.
Yeah, I'm curious.
How did that guy do yesterday? The guy with the funny name that started at the end. Not Trent Easton Ellis. What was his name?
I didn't.
Who's the guy was announced starting at the last second? I know it's only a small slate, but it was I forget who it was. Crap. Okay. Still nothing from Milwaukee. Well, let's check the Discord and see if we can't find anything.
I'm looking at it.
Nothing.
Yep, nothing. Tyson Jordan.
Stop sharing for a minute. Let's see. Nothing yet.
Yeah, Mitchell's ownership is going up a little bit.
Cavs, Biggs, Portis. How popular is Lillard going to be, you think?
40% maybe?
I mean, it's 6:34 Milwaukee. Come on, man.
It's just annoying. Tatum, Hauser. I was going to come back with my crazy Xavier Tillman play tonight, and I decided not to do it.
Oh, on the Celtics?
Yeah. Remember, like sometimes last year they just started him when he was like their 12th man. It was the weirdest thing. So I lowered it down because I do think that it doesn't have to necessarily be. I don't even know. I have 75% instead of 100%.
Who, Portis?
Portis, yeah. And with that, I'm going to get 10% of Brook Lopez.
That's not a bad idea.
Just because that's the first thing it didn't want to let me do. All right, so let's see.
We still don't know about Levine, by the way.
We're not going to know about him until before lock.
Well, that's fine. As long as I know that's fine. As long as I know that.
Right.
I don't know what could be a big surprise from unless Portis doesn't start. That's the only big.
But even still, then you still kind of want him. It doesn't really change the play.
He'll play 32 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
In a close game, I guess. Actually, even more so. Probably 30.
Yeah, he probably had, and he gets some non-Lillard minutes, so he gets some more upside.
Right, that's true.
I'm doing the DeLon Wright, for whatever reason, isn't getting the ownership that I think he should. So I'm going to be at least.
Are we really supposed to play Okoro as chalk?
I don't think you want to go crazy with it, but it is. He's starting. He's productive enough. I'll end up with some of it.
Is he under 4K?
He's 3,400.
That's cheap.
Like a different slate, he would have been like 100% owned in the past. Remember how things?
I remember that. Did he ever get there? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not a guarantee. No, we know that Cade is ahead of him. BBF. That's why I said it was funny, because Cade was ahead of him. He's had guys ahead of him, and they still all of a sudden will just like randomly start him. And if they just randomly started him tonight, it would be just hilarious. I don't think it's going to happen. It was just
you still like that Carrington guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to bet on the future for that guy in general, and I like him tonight. But I don't think you need to have again, I'm down to 30% of them. Initially I had 60, 70%. And I had to lower down Cornette because I do think he has bust paths. So I have him at 53%. What do you have of Cornette?
I don't know. I'm rerunning everything now. I had a bunch of them before.
Yeah. And I think I'd like a little more Hauser. Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. And then I will run a sim. You know who gets forgotten about is some of the guys I wanted to mention from earlier that we talked about as being good plays. And I don't think they're amazing plays, but D'Angelo Russell looked like a projection great, and nothing's changed, throughout the day. But
I didn't like him before either, though.
No, but I'm just saying, so, and I said I like the other play better, but that was partly because his ownership projection at the time was 30%, and now there's just so many other plays. But it still is all it just takes is him getting hot on a random night. He's 5,600. It's an interesting pivot off of Holiday, who's going to be crazy high owned, because he's going to be 2% owned. And he was a guy who looked like he was going to be very popular. The slate's just changed so much. Scottie Pippen Jr. has been his DFS MVP this year. He's been great.
Has he?
Can't pay 6K for him, but he's been great.
This is pretty weird. But this is obviously a dumb question. Is that his Scottie Pippen's son?
I believe it is.
Okay.
I'm starting to question myself. This sickness has not been in the best of my brain, for sure. And I still have a healthy amount of LeBron, which doesn't feel quite right as chalk. I'd like to be a little lower.
I will say this: whoever wins the FanDuel slate deserves a bonus.
That's for sure. You have every game. It's the only game you'll have all season with every team.
Oh, so that's why they're not playing tomorrow because of Election Day?
Yeah, they don't play on Election Day. That was a part of the agreement for the NBA agreement during the pandemic.
Okay.
It's a good message.
Yeah.
People should be focused on voting. Kevin Love, who is out, which is going to change a little.
Then again, you could vote and then come back before lock. I mean,
yeah, I think it's just more like this similar.
I understand.
Yeah. Bucks will start Lillard, Trent, Prince, Portis, and Lopez. Okay, so nothing surprising for the Bucks.
Thank you for that.
Okay. So that's probably the biggest one. But you know what? There's always the ones we don't know about too. But the good thing is I could just sit by the computer all night because every 15 minutes a new game starts.
Oh, that's true.
So at least we have the first game out of the way.
You like AD at all?
Yeah, but just slate context wise, I prefer Tatum. I think this is a night where Tatum might have 50 real life points. And I think I'm going to commit to it by playing him in at least half my lineup.
Well, the other thing we talked about, or I just kind of brought it up. I mean, if you're going to play, do you need, or would it be nice to have an Atlanta run back if you played the Celtics?
Yeah, Jalen Johnson is my favorite of them.
Oh, okay.
I mentioned him. It's a large field. I mean, it's not going to look like a great play on paper, but I think it's a good play. He's my favorite of the run backs. But I don't think you necessarily do need a run back. That's the one I like the best. Yeah, so I'm up to 63% Tatum, and DeLon Wright as my biggest differentiator of my sub 10 percenter. That doesn't feel like a normal thing I do. Jordan Poole. We got to get more of Jordan Poole. I like that idea.
We've got to get more of Jordan Poole.
I'll buy it with the narrative and everything. And
it's a lot of guys to play, Mr. Bobby, tonight.
But that's the thing is there is, and it's but I mean I've got 4 guys at 50% or more, and
Keon Ellis. Just throwing names out.
Ellis, where did that come from?
Just throwing names out.
He was my superstar the other night.
Oh really? He did well for you?
He had he was like 1% owned. He was minimum cost. He had like 30 fantasy points on the night where none of the value hit. But who was it on my team? Somebody who got hurt, and then the lineup was blown up. But I can't remember who it was.
All right, I'm running something right now. I'm going to tell you who I get, like without doing funny business, and then So right now, like my overall, just whatever. Am I still getting 100 Portis? I'm pretty freaking close, man. So right now, if I made no changes, no nothing, I'd be getting 97% Portis throughout my lineups, 78% Gary Trent Jr. So I'm not going to do that.
They're still giving you the Trent, huh?
Still giving me the Trent.
Because it's interesting. I still see the projection as really
but it's I only have him. I'm giving him 22.
Yeah, it's weird. You don't have like a rule set or something.
No, you know what's happening? He's getting like no ownership projection.
That's why. Yeah, I see it now. Man, NBA trying to get the ownerships right in NBA is not as you
it's hard. I mean, that's a big discrepancy. I mean, from what he should. I mean, he's starting in a game with no. I mean, shouldn't he even won 2% or whatever?
Yeah, probably. I just bumped him up to 7, which really is like 9 because I'm playing 30 lineups. So
I'm not. I mean, how many does he have to get for you to not play him and be really upset? 30? More than that, right?
Yeah.
But if he's only going to be low, then why am I going to such trouble?
30, yeah, like why is Carrington? If you have like 70% or 60% Carrington, and
right.
I think it makes sense. I just don't. I couldn't go that big of a commitment myself because I think that's. But I guess at 2%, it's kind of a good way to get different. All right. I'm a little bit surprised that more of these Cavs didn't look just a little bit better. By the way, I was looking at some of the players and their stats this year, like Westbrook being obviously like the worst shooting one this year. But Şengün has not made a shot like all season long, and he's still averaging whatever. So he's going to get hot one of these times, and he's gonna pay for everything,
Yeah.
And same thing with Fred VanVleet shooting like 20%. That's not going to last forever.
No.
I love the bad shooting guys because that's just something people get confused by.
Yeah.
And it's a bad matchup and everything. Like getting like 0.5% ownership on some of these guys.
All right, we'll try it.
All right, so no, that's Jimmy. I actually that's the wrong way to think about it. These guys who are good defenders, first of all, Okoro being a good defender, it's not like they're going to be worried about trying to lock up Gary Trent. Okoro probably is going to guard Damian Lillard. He'll probably guard Bobby Portis some, and he'll probably guard Gary Trent just because there's nobody else to guard there. But it's not going to lock him. It's not like these lockdown defenders go into a matchup with Gary Trent and lock him down. That's not the way. It's just not the way he plays. He's a good team defender too, and Gary Trent is he's the fourth option on the basketball team offensively, and that's only because Taurean Prince is in the starting lineup. So.
Yeah, I got off this Trent business. I'm just not doing this.
You know who I did end up with a lot of, though? is Jordan Poole.
There you go.
Yeah, and he's not. I mean, there's no real ownership there. It's interesting because they gave me a lot more than I was expecting.
I'm still getting that issue that I was displaying with Jordan before with Chrome. Like I'm unable to launch DraftKings with Chrome. I have to use a different browser, which is bizarre.
That's weird.
Clear my cache, or that's what they always tell you to do, right?
Yeah, that is weird though. All right, now I've got it the way I want it. I saved in my contests. Yes. Yeah.
So Trent got eliminated. I don't know what I was doing getting the Trent, but in my last,
I think you nailed it. They're seeing all the minutes and they're saying, well, if no one's going to play him, that you should play him.
Wait, my last build I got 0, so it's kind of funny, right?
It is weird. I don't understand from time to time which is what sometimes.
All right, so let's build. Let's do one live because this is like such an impossible slate anyway. Let's try to really be the hero. So let me share my screen again, and I'll show the FanDuel. Like the impossible slate. Okay, and let me do this. Share. All right. So again, we updated we put all the projections up. Zion is still questionable, by the way. What do we think? You think we're going to be getting all of the Westbrook?
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see how we do. So again, what we're going to do is first we're going to take a look at what we get, just using the Sabre score. Then we'll adjust it for Sims. Boy, I haven't played Russell Westbrook in a while. I'm kind of psyched.
Yeah.
I hate to ask this, but who's he playing for? Oh, Denver, right?
Denver.
You think that he'd do well in that environment too, right? With the unlimited cardio and all that?
Yeah, I mean, he's interesting. Like, it hasn't worked out well, and I get it, but they don't have any other shooters, so it was kind of a strange guy to.
Yeah, but he's not a shooter.
That's what the problem is. That's why it didn't really make sense. But Jokic loved him and wanted him, and I think he just wants somebody else who's aggressive. He still plays really hard. He had a great game. He had one great game. Other than that, it's looked really bad.
All right, so it looks as though Westbrook and Portis, we would get 100 if we didn't do anything. So then there's Cornette as well. So let's run the contest Sims. No Levine, by the way.
Levine is out?
According to Butbonga.
Okay, what's there? Yeah,
6:48. At 6:48 p.m. Let's go.
Everything. So there's God damn it.
Gotta love it. So what this means is Giddey, Kobe White, Desomnu, right?
Yep. It's just how many guys can we play?
We're gonna find out, I think. Well, we're gonna have to do something. I'll do what I said. I'll just change the Chicago guys once they pop up. If I can get something done before 7, I'll do it. If I can't get it, then I won't. No, we gotta go back to Min Uniques 4.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up being funny in the middle and probably playing like 30% of each of those 4 guys.
Who?
Of the Bulls.
Oh.
Giddey, White, Sunmu, and Vooch.
Well, let's just see, what they give us here. Let's see. All right, so save these lineups, but we gotta change this. I don't want exactly me. Let's at least get him out to start off with. And then download the FanDuels. So I have it. Levine out at 6:48. All right. Listen, they don't know it's 6:48. It's not 6:48 for them.
No, I know.
But still, it'd be nice.
Yeah. All right.
And let's also take him out of my DraftKings lineups if I have them.
Jalen McMillan in the NFL. Sorry.
Okay. Let's see. Did I have any of him? Let's see. You'll see this little. Yep, that lightning bolt. So I have him. Let's get him out. Ooh, I had not that much actually. I only had like 6, 7, like 9% of him actually. So that's not okay. Oh, and once again, if anybody has any suggestions of why Chrome is not letting me access DraftKings, and by the way, that's on both my computers. But then again, now that I think about it, since my computers are sort of synced as far as Chrome setting, maybe it's a Chrome setting. I will deal with it. But it's not going to be now. D'Angelo Russell, it says questionable. He is upgraded to probable. All right, good enough. Okay. See what other guys here. Austin Reeves, probable. Just kind of look at 8 minutes to post. Oh, no big deal.
I think we actually go higher. I'm going to have 40% of each of those guys, except for Vooch. I'll keep it 30. The Bulls have been playing the fastest of any team in the NBA this year. It's very different than last year's team. So I want to be overweight that.
So let's see what Chicago does here, if they changed anything. All right, it doesn't look like they've – I mean, what do you think would be a fair –
I don't know.
assessment of whether it was changed even? I mean, let's see.
I know you're probably supposed to have 2 of them.
No, I just mean the projection. I want to gauge if it's been updated.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I think they hedged a little bit earlier, though. So I think that it's not going to change quite as drastically because these guys started projecting better. Like I was like, where did this Vucevic projection come from? So there must have been some speculation in the questionable tag with this.
Well, let me see. I mean, do I have to play it at 7 o'clock? Well, it's important because Milwaukee is a whole bunch of ownership at the very first game. It would be nice if I had some idea, even like one projection of what this should be. Kobe White, it's 37 is 5x. It's got to be more than that.
Yeah, I think it'll be around 6 something for those guys, almost probably for each of them. I have less Bobby Portis this time. That's weird. How did that even happen?
Portis. Let me see if Sabres some updated Chicago over here. Not really. You like Jalen Smith at all?
I get it. I just don't think you need to do that.
From Chicago, no.
Like you're playing him over Cornette then. Assuming Cornette does in fact start. I just think that's probably the better thing. I'll throw him into a lineup or two. I think you can play those two together. Let's see, Smith.
It would be nice to get some kind of update. Vooch 44. Let's see if anybody's updating him. No. This is the unfortunate thing. Is normally I would say I'm just going to wait, but Vooch 48, 41. All right, that's not bad. Kobe White 39, Giddey up to 41. So these guys have them. Okay, so what if I inserted? Okay, let's see if we did. What about 5 minutes? All right, let's try it. Put 48 in here. We'll give Giddey 41. Give Kobe White 39, I guess. Probably should give him a little more.
Those all seem pretty good.
Does Somnu give him, I guess, I'm going to give him 30 because now he's starting, right?
I would say like 26.
Well, not 30.
Maybe
No.
27.
And then Patrick Williams do something.
I'm always waiting for him to, but there's certainly nothing about Zach LaVine being out that's gonna like immediately go to a guy who just doesn't have
Right.
usage. If one more guy was out, maybe, but
Jalen Smith, we're going to keep him where he was. I don't think I'm going to need to do anything else. Oh, but I forgot to put the other guys in. Crap. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to make it. 656? All right, maybe we could just do DraftKings. If we could do it, would be great, but try it one more time. And I am pretty fast, but I don't think I'm this fast. All right, let's try again. Chicago. What did I say? Okay. Vooch, 48. What time is it? 56. Giddy, 41.
I do think that, but oh yes, yeah.
What's that?
Nothing. Sorry, I was thinking about football for a second.
IU, 28. Patrick Williams, 23, I guess. Jalen Smith, keep here at 17, I suppose. These guys keep the same. And now let's, where is it? Rebuild, and we'll see what we do. Jalen McMillan is out.
That's what I'm doing. That's the way your Ryan Miller play is going to look a lot better than it did.
Wow. Jalen McMillan is out. Now, I wonder. Now, here's going to be annoying. I could get this done in 3 minutes if my Chrome work. It's going to be really tight.
Uh-oh.
Well, we're going to see. We definitely can't get FanDuel done. But let's just see if we can get DraftKings done.
Wait, why did it not fix my draft? Why did it not take LaVine out of my lineups? That's so weird. No, wait. Maybe it just didn't refresh.
657. Okay. $658. So DraftKings were going to be very, very, very easy. But FanDuel is going to have to eat it for at least one game. But fortunately, it's not like I have like a billion of Milwaukee. Like you know what I mean? Because I have all that Westbrook.
Yeah.
So it's not quite as bad.
Just the Portis, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
So it's 6:58. All right, I got time, sort of. As long as this finishes. Didn't quite go. Is it 7 or 7:05? It's 7 too. Okay, so it's literally a minute and a half. Okay, well, I'm just literally a prisoner of the technology right now. I mean, I did everything I need to do. Let's see. I don't know, Saber Sim, you're annoying me today.
It may not matter until after. Oh, that doesn't.
Nah, is Cleveland's a big? I mean, the Milwaukee game's a big deal.
You had it updated a little bit, right? Oh no, you didn't.
Shit, well, it's a big deal. Let's see. And then 6:59. All right. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Got it.
And here's the problem: is going to be the Chrome thing here. Let's see. This has got to finish. It's got to go through all these tournaments. I don't know exactly. Does you have a minute count on me? How many seconds?
Yeah, like 25,
24, 23, 22, 21, 20.
I think it's
15, 17, 16, 15,
it's 20 minutes, 20.
13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Let's see. Got him.
Hey, it's already a win.
There it is.
Awesome.
There it is. Here, wait. This. Wait. See, this is my screenshot, right there. That's it. It's successfully uploaded. There it is. Oh Jesus! Now I gotta see who I have. I guess I don't even know. But we can certainly late. So now I wonder how much of the Portis I have after that. Well, we'll find out soon enough. All right. So this will probably update, and I will definitely. So what are we gonna do with the? So with McMillan out. Oh my goodness.
I'm just doing it.
And those projections will update. Like guys like Miller will go from like 2 points, like 4 points, maybe.
Yes, I capped my max amount I'll spend tonight, and I also put the min down to 40,000.
Okay.
Because I think that you should not be thinking about.
Is Clyde Edwards-Helaire out?
Yeah, I don't know. He didn't ever. Where did that come from? I'm trying to even figure out if I'm missing something here.
No, because I had some. That's all.
Oh no, because he's out. Sorry.
Okay.
I was okay. I ran my thing after because I was confused for a second. I was like, oh my god, did I miss something big? It happened to me once when I was trying it the other day, where just one of my runs, I accidentally clicked a 0 on the maximum just by randomness. I didn't realize. I was like, why is this showing up like this? And then I realized, thankfully, in time.
Is like Sterling Shepard like chalked out? I mean, what's going on here?
And there's Sterling Shepard, Ryan Miller, whether it's one of those. I mean, it's just.
Or KC defense. I mean, like,
going up against the best defense in the NFL.
So let me just get McMillan at least out of my lineups for now. And hashtag Clyde Edwards-Helaire cannot be swapped from 2 lineups. We'll see about that. We will just see about that. We got like an hour for that. That's not a big deal. So I am gonna actually do some projections.
Okay.
Once they come up. Let me just see. That failed? Why'd that fail? Oh, because okay, let's save these to there. Okay. All right. Let me just see. Did Sabres update? Did Sabres even update the Bulls yet? Let's see.
Probably not.
You don't think? Yes, they did actually. I think. No, they still have Kobe White's at 41. They only made Vooch up to 44, but they definitely changed stuff.
Yeah.
Desandon, they made 30, 31. What is that? Not getting that. All right, I guess I'm going to get out of here.
Me as well.
But you guys will see projections kind of update probably about 15, 20 minutes, and I'll catch up to you later.